Yeah, we are recording.
Okay, good.
Now, but we're not live.
Oh, we're live.
I did not hit the go live button.
We're live.
We are live on YouTube.
Okay.
Are we?
Yeah.
No, we're not live.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how the timeline works.
You see,
You can pretend it's live, just watch it and it's real. Just don't pause it.
Yeah, the problem with this is that we're not. It's gonna be harder for Steve to tell when we're being like sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I mean, I'm not very sarcastic. So,
Oh, okay.
So it's
Oh
why
my
are you saying we?
Alright.
You
That's
when
crazy.
you're being.
I can't believe you just did that.
I'm not. Am I sarcastic, Steve?
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, I don't really use sarcasm. You use it. Maybe Steve does a little bit, but I don't. So
That's crazy.
that's one of us.
You're 100% genuine. Everything you say during this podcast
Yep.
is real.
It is real.
Not
Just like
satire.
100%.
just like today. Today is the 8th episode of the podcast. 8 asterisk because there's a E3 special, but yeah, 8 episodes.
Yeah. Big deal.
Who would have thought?
Big milestone.
More episodes than the Mass Effect LP will ever see.
Oh.
That's sad.
I need to put a sad trombone on one of the samples, one of the pads.
But yeah, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cedar Square Podcast. I am, as always, your host Zach. Joined with me on this couch, virtual and non-virtual, is Shua and
Hello.
Steve.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Steve
How's it
is
going?
at an unknown location
In the safe house.
in a safe house.
Loctite.
Yep, locked tight somewhere. But he's still with us, and if you're listening on audio, it doesn't matter. He just
Yeah.
he's here.
Yeah.
He's here. Don't worry.
In our hearts,
yeah.
always.
But today, it's just a it's a catching up day. Seeing how everyone's doing. But first, let's get the business handled. Today's podcast is brought to you by Instacart. Save on delivery fees on your first order of $35 or more with our affiliate link in the description of this episode. And then announcing a new sponsor. Today's episode is also brought to
What?
you by NordVPN. If you're trying to watch that Netflix show, but you live in the wrong country,
Mm-hmm.
or you just like, oh, that movie I wish I could watch, but it's not available on my Netflix in this country. Why don't you just sign up for NordVPN? You can save 69% on 2 years with NordVPN now. Use our affiliate link in the description of this episode. And last but not least, today we also announced Cedar Squared is also a Razer affiliate.
Oh, wow.
We're real gamers. And real gamers use Cedar Squared Razer affiliate link. It's in the description. Use it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Razer. Thank you, NordVPN. And thank you, Instacart.
Well, what a solid roster.
Solid roster, just like us. 3 sponsors, three Cedar boys.
Amigos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your week going,
Yeah.
Steve? How's your week?
It's been interesting.
Been
It's
interesting?
a lot of things happening.
Mhm.
But I'll just say whatever. I guess my dad he was in the hospital this week. So that's been something new that I've been having to deal with. Is I have to deal with or not deal with, but like Holly learning to now with like our parents
Mhm.
getting
Mhm.
older and stuff, like having
Yeah.
to deal with the upcoming health issues they start to have, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But thankfully he just had well, not thankfully, but he just had an ulcer.
Mhm.
And thankfully they got it out. So, and it almost burst, but they said they got it in time. So he's all good. He got back home today. So now he's just chilling, finally eating solid foods.
Nice.
So that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad
to hear.
everything's working out. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
We are getting to that
Yeah.
age, though, where
Yeah.
we're having to be the responsible ones.
Ooh.
And,
I can't
Yeah.
just eat whatever I want.
yeah, and we're going to have to take care of our parents at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it.
Yeah.
My parents are getting to that age, too, and they have, like, their own
Yeah.
things, too. It's like it's constantly just being on watch and taking care of
Sure.
ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How's it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
How's the rest of your week going, though, Steve?
Oh yeah, it's been pretty good. I've been playing a little bit more Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't know what I just said right now. Final Fantasy.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. I've been getting a lot into it.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline is pretty good. We'll talk more about that later.
For sure.
And then I finally raided with my guild on World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then just I'll talk about more about that later too.
Okay.
Steve's in
So,
a gang.
Steve is in a game.
in a guild.
Guild is
But
just
pretty much a
slang
gang.
for gang.
Pretty much.
Parents, if you're listening to this and they're like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with my guild," that's a gang.
Yep.
Yeah,
Report your child
don't suck it.
immediately.
Lock that down.
Lock that down. Do you know who your children are?
Who your children are?
Where?
Oh,
What?
yeah. Do you know
who do they
your-
rep?
Yeah, who do they rep? Yeah, Los Santos.
That's good. That's good to hear. What about you, Shua?
I'm doing pretty solid.
Solid.
If you don't know, I'm in a band. I'm in multiple bands.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, crazy.
would've
Who would have thought
Whoa.
Shua is in a band?
Crazy.
Wild.
We had a gig this last weekend though. It was pretty lit. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Where was it
Yeah.
at?
It was at Fulton 55 in Fresno.
Okay.
And it was it's just got like recently like redone, remodeled. The only thing that was messed up was like the AC, I guess, was not ready. And so
That's a yikes in the
hot
summer.
as fuck in there. Or
it
what?
was a little hot. And when I was on stage too, those lights are on you and it just makes it like twice as hot. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was like sweating up a storm and like some sweat got into my eyes and it was a mess. I was
That's the
missing
worst.
chords, you know what I mean? Because I just couldn't see anything. My eyes were just closed for a whole song.
You know, not me to interrupt you, but on the podcast, I just see Shrek, the Shrek.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna, you didn't see anything.
yeah.
Keep talking.
That's an Easter egg.
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah, Steve has no idea.
Oh,
For people listening, there was a box of Shrek 2 for PlayStation 2 on our coffee table.
Yeah,
A common commodity in most homes. You know.
yeah. We're always repping Shrek 2.
Yeah, you're always repping Shrek
At
2
the square.
specifically. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
at the squared. Yeah. But anyway, go talk about your show.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Sorry,
oh,
I
yeah.
didn't mean to derail you. I just saw it on the screen.
All good. But it was fine. It was good, and it was just nice to be playing live music and to hear live music again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been a long time, and hopefully with the way things are looking, you know, stays okay. You know, just do the best that
Really?
we can. You know.
Yeah.
I hope we can stay okay
Yeah, that's good.
as much as we can.
Yep.
But
Delta's
otherwise,
out there, though.
huh?
Delta's out there.
I know it's a little sketch.
That's why we play games at home. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, though,
low risk Cedar Squared.
honestly though,
Cedar Squared live coming soon though. Don't worry. I'm just kidding.
live.
You're just-
Oh, like on a
imagine-
stage.
Imagine just playing like play like something like Resident Evil or something like
Mhm.
or like
Rooster Teeth does that.
Yeah, yeah.
do they?
I think they
do-
have.
Yeah,
Like
they
a
do
bat-
They do Achievement Hunter live.
Live
and they actually do
LP.
they do like live let's plays on stage.
I feel like I
Yeah.
haven't seen one. Are they good? Or is it
I'm not, I
what you
haven't seen one
expect?
either. I haven't seen. I've just heard the concept.
Because
and-
I guess that's just
I-
live streaming.
Yeah, literally.
yeah,
But-
basically. But it's
Except
like
your chat
basically,
can
but in
actually
a-
yell at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean it sounds
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Instead of bits, they just throw pennies at us.
yeah, and then just booing us
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, talk about something interesting.
Yeah, I
God.
know. Gosh, why is it always the same stuff with you folks?
I know. I'm
Why is
always just playing Apex.
What's with the bean jokes?
The bean jokes?
Yeah, where have you been?
Oh, where have you been? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
my God.
Good stuff.
Exactly.
We got
See,
some
that's
more,
that's
yeah.
exactly the reaction Steve just gave. Oh my god, is what they're
Yeah.
all thinking
Rough
whenever
stuff.
they watch one of our videos.
Rough stuff.
It's fine though. That's branding.
It's
That's
true.
branding right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Inside jokes. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Inside jokes.
Yeah,
that's
some of-
that's
some
what
of
you're
you.
here for. The inside jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How was your week?
It's
Zachary?
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Let's see. Gaming wise, played Guilty Gear. Some more Guilty Gear, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Mhm.
The new one, right?
Had a new one.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. Just leveling up, trying to be consistent on that. I forget that Street Fighter 5 is still being supported. So I'll probably have to get back into that once the new characters drop for that. What else?
Wasn't there sorry, Aaron, but wasn't there like a like I think he's a Street Fighter, not Street Fighter. What's it?
Mortal
What
Kombat,
game does he play?
Smash
Not Mortal
Bros.
Kombat. It might be Street Fighter.
Go on.
And he's sponsored by Panda.
Oh,
Fuck, what's his name? Anyways, they like asked him like, oh, what are you gonna be doing on your free time?
Yeah. It is a
It's
Panda
like,
player.
oh, I'm just gonna be playing Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was on the Street Fighter tournament thing. The Pro Tour. It was
and
online.
he was like, yeah, I'm done with Street Fighter. It's not good.
Yeah, he won the Street
Basically
Fighter
saying-
tournament. He has a Panda Punk, plays Karin for Street Fighter, and yeah, he just came in to this like online tournament, won it all, and then on his like victory, like speech thing, he just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go play more Guilty Gear after this," like because they're like, "How are you gonna prepare for the finals coming up?" He's like, "I'm just gonna play more Guilty Gear."
yeah.
Like, literally
He
just
straight
said
up
that.
said-
Like
he's like, oh, it doesn't matter because I can come back. I just need 20 minutes and I'm good. I'm good on
Yeah.
Street Fighter.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
tight.
Yeah. I mean, I like that attitude, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
because
that's pretty cool.
yeah, because he's like, oh yeah, I have no motivation to play this game online. It's terrible online. Basically bagging it on the official Capcom Twitch stream.
Yeah.
By the way, it wasn't like it wasn't like he was on like some random tournament side thing. No, it was Capcom. So
But I mean, like his gripe is pretty much the gripe of pretty much the whole fan base, isn't it?
yeah. The online sucks. It's hard to play.
Yeah.
It's like almost unplayable at times. So yeah, kudos
is
to
that-
him. Speaking
Isn't
of
that the reason why you played it? Or why you started playing Guilty Gear?
yeah, exactly. Why most people play Guilty Gear, because it's actually good to play online, and Street Fighter feels good offline, but it feels so bad online, and with the times now, you don't really have the luxury to play with people offline.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So online matters more than anything. So yeah,
That's true.
people aren't playing Street Fighter, but yeah, like I said, there's still a Street Fighter characters to come out. They're announcing something to the 4th, so Wednesday.
Mhm.
There's like a showcase thing, so I'll probably check that out just to
Mhm.
see. But I mean, it's still Guilty Gear only for that. But I'm also
Dang.
playing Disco Elysium still.
Okay.
Still trudging that. It's a long game,
How many hours?
like 20 plus for sure. I don't remember, but definitely into that a lot. I mean, there's so much you could talk about with that game, and maybe when I finish it, I might talk about it to you guys.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's crazy. I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody
Yes.
because it's very
Mm.
accessible. I think it's like it's called an RPG, but it feels more like a point and click adventure. I was showing Shua. It's very
Oh, okay.
it's very about going place to place and connecting the dots to events. If you don't know, the game is a murder mystery game. There's a guy like hung in this fictional city, and you wake up from like a drunken stupor, like you just hung over,
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to figure out. You don't know who you are. You don't know what's
Amnesia.
going on. You have amnesia, and you're basically like thrown into this case, trying to figure out who was hung in this
Yeah.
crazy world,
Mhm.
and you diverge all over the place. It's an RPG in the sense that you can really make your character yours, in a sense. Like my character, since my character is super poor, I just have him ask everyone for money, and like there's a lot of freedom. like literally asking like antagonist characters, like, hey, do you have like $20?
Give me some money.
Like, yeah, you have any money? Yeah, or you can like ask people for stuff that you can pawn.
What the heck?
Yeah, but you're a cop too, by the way. So it's like
you're a poor cop.
you're
Damn.
a hobo cop.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a route that you could take. It's called a hobo cop. There's a lot of subjects like communism, capitalism, stuff like
Dope.
that. They talk about revolutions.
Very dope.
There's a lot going on in that game.
Mhm.
I'm expecting a video essay at the end of this.
I don't know. It's a lot, but I'm saying for anyone, you could play it on almost anything now. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I think iPad.
It's coming to Switch, right?
It's coming to
shit.
Switch. So, yeah. I mean, I get it. I get the hype. And yeah, when I'm done, maybe I'll talk about it on here or something. I don't know, but pretty good. What else have I done? Halo. Been playing Halo multiplayer.
That's
Yeah, I know. Super
Interesting.
late. Yeah, me and Kim have been playing, just to like get into it because Halo Infinite's coming out. I'm like, I'll check it
Gotta
out.
prep.
yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's good. I feel like Halo 3 is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Off the
Yeah, it
I'm
really
playing
is.
the Master Chief Collection, by the way.
Yes.
So I get to play 1
Mhm.
through 4 or Reach through 4. Even though Reach happens after 3 on like the chronological, like as far as like when they released.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the
Mm.
timeline, it's before 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, it that 1 and 4 feel weird. It's like it's
Really?
trying not to be Halo.
They're
but it is.
outliers.
Yeah, they're definitely outliers because
Mhm.
there's like sprinting and abilities and special weapons and stuff like that I feel like doesn't mesh as well as what 3 did.
Mm-hmm.
The balance feels weird. That's what I should say. But they're definitely fun in their own ways. Like 1 is super fun in a
Mhm.
simplistic way. It's like, oh, this is like vintage shooter. I feel like Shua, like a boomer, you know.
Have we played
Playing-
5 yet?
No, I haven't played 5.
Good.
I don't want
Yeah.
to because I hear it's bad. So
Honestly, wait, which was the one that recently? What's the one that recently came out?
5, right?
Yeah, that was the most recent.
5, right?
Yeah.
That was Xbox
I
One.
still to this day have not finished the campaign.
Yeah, it's not very good. And you know what's weird is
Is that
I-
the Nathan Fillion one? Isn't he in it?
No, that one is. Wait, is it? I thought he was in Reach.
I don't know.
Is he in Reach? Oh,
Wait,
I don't know.
which one's that? Oh yeah, that's Rich.
Nathan
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It has you locked into a specific FOV, like super weird. I revisited it recently and like I couldn't even finish it because it was so bad. I thought I could do it. I got through Reach through 4, fine,
Yeah.
and then 5, man, like was really rough. It looks pretty, you
Mhm.
know, but it does
Mhm.
not play well.
I mean, yeah, I don't plan on touching it, but I haven't played any of the single players. I played like
Yeah,
parts of 1 and 2, and that's about it.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. You should. We should take some time.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I mean, the gameplay's fun, so I'm down to play them. I hear they're short too.
Yeah.
Short
I hear,
enough.
I hear they're like less than
Mhm.
10 hours each, so
Yeah.
I'm down to try them
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. I also watched Loki. I finished it.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of those.
Gonna become a Marvel podcast.
No, we're not.
No.
There's enough of those.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's
Yeah.
so
There's
many
an-
Marvel
there-
podcasts.
What are your
There's so
theories?
many mid-20s guys that feel the need to give their opinions on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mhm.
And I don't need to contribute to it. It's okay.
Speaking of Marvel, did you guys hear about Scarlett Johansson suing Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We were
That's
just-
crazy.
yeah.
Well, it's because actually, I get her gripe because, I mean, they promised her like we'll give you a certain amount in the box office.
Yeah.
Then COVID happened,
Yeah.
and then they just suddenly like, oh, we're gonna release the movie straight to movies. I mean, straight to streaming.
Disney Plus, yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't include her on that deal whatsoever. She tried renegotiating, but they never like contacted
Yeah.
her about it. They just like
Yeah.
decided to go forward.
Are you saying
with
Disney
that.
caused COVID so that way they don't have to pay Scarlett
You
Johansson?
know what?
You
They
reaching?
could've. They might have.
They
Might have. You know.
might have.
We don't know what the mouse is up to this day.
Yep,
Dang, I've seen South Park.
Yep. He's out there. Who knows?
I don't know. A lot of people are comparing it to like artists and like the way that like their revenue is like
Affected
made.
by their streams or what?
Yeah, like so like it's like if like an artist got signed by a label and then they release this album, but the label says, "Oh, you're gonna make money off this album by physical sales and like iTunes, sales."
Mhm.
Ah.
And then then they throw it on to Spotify without saying anything,
Ah.
and it's like, oh, where's that money?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
know?
true.
Exactly.
Is that a common thing?
Pretty much the same thing.
Like
I don't-
nowadays.
No, not really.
'Cause
You
I
still
feel
make
like-
some money, or you make some money. I don't know. It kind of depends on your contract with the label.
Yeah.
And the hard thing is, it's like Scarlett Johansson. Like, if she signed the contract and like it was already written down, and like it's gonna be hard to fight it. unless she
Yeah.
can prove that Disney was avoiding her.
Yeah. True.
Mhm.
Yeah, renegotiations were being thrown out, but I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
It's gonna be interesting.
We'll
Yeah.
find out in the next Marvel podcast.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
See you later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't I don't think I could like I used to have like people I used to like work with at other jobs that would like have so much to talk about with Marvel.
Mhm.
And it's like, how can you dig so deep on such shallow I mean, okay, Marvel movies are good, right? There's nothing like wrong with it. I know I'm
Excuse
not trying
me?
to get like people dragging me for like Marvel's good. They're made well,
Excuse me?
but they're not that deep, you know?
No. Well, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
hold on. What are you gonna argue?
Hold on.
Okay,
Because there's
counter-view.
decades of
Devil's advocate.
comics behind all these movies too, though, is the thing. And
You think all those guys read the comics?
no,
Do you think
definitely
like
not.
some guys like, oh yeah, I love the Avengers, is like buying comics since he was like a kid?
Me? Well, some people.
Have you
for
read
sure.
a comic book?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you read?
I don't know. Batman. Not Marvel.
So do you know anybody who avidly reads comics?
No, but I know
I
people that
actually
have
don't.
started to read comics because of the movies.
Okay,
the other
but-
way around.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think it has started like a resurgence in a way, like a revival of comics.
Actually, a funny thing though, the comic book industry is actually in a decline.
Still?
Still.
Oh man.
And you can thank your good old boys in the East, Japan, with the mangas hitting
Too
America.
good?
Yeah, and a lot of people are upset. Like a lot of like comic. There's like a big cry about this because Demon Slayer, just the manga by itself,
Mm-hmm.
outsold every comic that came out last year.
Holy shit.
Just that
That's a
manga.
lot.
Just that manga.
That's nuts.
So outsold the entire comic industry.
Like Western comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
In America,
Mhm.
by the way. Sorry. In America.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. And
That's crazy.
I'll put the link in the description if you want to read that article. But
But do they have good live action movies?
no, but I
Def
mean,
Note?
that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people researching and going back and reading the
Mhm.
source material.
Yeah. But specifically with the films, though, I mean, they're putting a lot in.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had anything like
Yeah.
but
But I feel like
Endgame, you know?
I feel like those details though aren't enough to talk about that much. It's like, oh, cool, they put a little trinket from this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they put Thor's hammer in Loki. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like that's it.
But
That's as deep as
it's the possibilities, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
let
yeah.
people speculate and let
I
people
mean,
get
I'm not
excited.
letting people not have fun.
You're gatekeeping.
But I'm not gatekeeping. Watch Marvel.
Oh.
No,
Watch Marvel.
I kind of get it because I remember with what was that WandaVision came out.
Right?
Yeah, people were thinking WandaVision's the
people
new.
like everybody thought that Mephisto dude was gonna.
Oh
come
yeah.
out and,
Yeah,
like,
totally.
and
And
nothing happened.
like a lot of people, I guess, are just watching for like I don't know, like for like the surprises and shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's all they're hoping for, and they're going back to go find some obscure comic reference to see.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get what Zach's saying.
Well,
Yeah.
they did catch the Agatha
Yeah.
thing.
I'm talking about more like subtext, like deeper plot
Oh.
points, like themes and stuff like that. People talking about. I mean,
Oh.
details, yeah, like details and like source material, whatever. But like the depth of a Marvel film can only get you so far before you're like, oh, it's a movie.
Well, I think with this newest phase, well, we turned it into a Marvel podcast. dude.
I know. But yeah, but I'm not trying to be like we're not dissecting a movie. I'm not gonna dissect like an Avengers film right now.
I think though that right now with this newest phase with multiverse and stuff, they're really trying to set the rules for
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, because like there's those rumors about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfunkel
Garfunkel.
yeah,
being in the
that's
new
it.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to explain that, you
Yeah.
know, and they're gonna have to explain like
Or
all
they-
this stuff.
Or they just don't and just be like, oh, they're just people. Like they did with the stupid WandaVision. They put the other Quicksilver and they're just like, nah, he's
Oh,
just
that
some.
was so
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
He's just some
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like he's just a
They got
guy.
us.
Yeah, they got us for
Yeah, they
sure.
got
But
us.
like Yeah, people went crazy,
Yeah.
and they're like,
I
"No,
went crazy,
he's
to
just
be
some
honest.
guy."
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe that'll come back around.
I don't think so because they literally
What?
shot it down.
Yeah, I mean, because it also came at the point when it's like the news just came like wasn't so far out where they said that Marvel purchased the X-Men stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like so everybody was like, oh shit, this is like the point where
X-Men starts being involved. Yeah.
X-Men is gonna be pushed through Marvel now.
I mean, we know that mutants are gonna come though. We do know eventually.
Yeah, we know.
Well, what are they called? What do they call them in? They call them not mutants. They call them like Inhumans or something.
Oh, that's something else entirely.
Or something. I don't know.
And
They
then
call
there's
them.
Immortals.
No. It's like whatever. Anyway.
I don't know. enough
Anyway,
about
Marvel
yeah.
like is fine.
You're fine.
It's fine.
Oh.
It's like Star Wars.
Okay.
It's fine, but when you dig deep, there's not too much depth. It's not that deep, bro. And they do that on purpose because that's what makes the movies popular. They're easy to watch. They're easy to get into and be like, okay, this is a good movie. Okay, I'm done.
Even Star Wars has
You
like
can watch
books
any
and...
Marvel movie out of order and be like, okay, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to. You can, and you get rewarded for watching them in order. In fact, but if you just watch one of them, that's fine.
Not Thor 2.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, and which is ironic because comic books require you to go back and read decades of stuff to understand where you're currently at. Because why not?
Yeah.
Which is probably why the comic industry is dying anyway.
Yeah, that pay to play
The
structure sucks.
The whole thing that you have to
Pay
go
to
back
play.
and like
I
get
mean, it
more
pretty
and
much
more.
is, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, moving on to our actual topic. Game industry.
Yes.
Like usual.
Yep.
There's a lot of new trends currently in the sphere, and I want to pick your guys' brain on these things because I was like, oh, these are interesting things. Just a couple, just a rapid fire. But like first and foremost, Kotaku. They're in some stuff again.
When aren't they?
Yeah, I know, when aren't they? But more so now, they kind of hit a point of, I don't know what to call it. I guess hate click articles. They put out they act like they like to dunk on the games industry so much that it becomes too far to even call it a parody. It just seems not journalism-y. It's too much speculation and too much opinion into it. And I'm not like, as someone who writes and puts stuff up on the internet, writing game journalism, that like discretion, you know, game journalism can get repetitive. So maybe editorials are a good way to kind of express yourself.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes it can get in the way of reporting game stuff. This one that Kotaku got severely ratioed on Twitter is an article called, the title is Call of Duty dev visiting Europe shooting old guns was hard work, you know. And it's basically talking about Sledgehammer Games co-founder Glenn Schofield, who went out to Europe to test some guns, and he talked to a UK publication, Edge Magazine, and just talked about the work he put into on making a Call of Duty game. He mentioned, studying for World War II, shooting old guns in Europe. He said, I spent 8 days in a van in Europe going to all the places that were going to be in the game. I shot different weapons, all these things that you have to do when you're working on a Call of Duty game. You're working with experts. That was the sentence before. He basically just goes on to talking about working, like a lot of research, basically. And then the journalist writing this, he said, as like a little book into it, that honestly doesn't seem like that bad of a deal as far as video game development goes. They say, when the topic of hard work came up, I fully expected him to give a nod to quality assurance or speak on the grueling Call of Duty dev cycle, not quote unquote reading quote unquote watching videos, as he goes on to explain. Right here, they talk about, sure, it's probably hard to think of it that way when you're there for work, but come on, you're traveling Europe with Activision's credit card in your wallet, not back in the studio documenting bugs for 12 hours a day at barely more than minimum wage. Basically, yeah, just talking about kind of like saying, oh, like quality assurance people, like I get that was their point. Like, oh, quality assurance people don't get paid enough is basically what this person was trying to push.
I see.
There's a lot of thankless jobs in game development, right? So it was kind of weird that they put that statement into this article that was just like supposed to be like, this easily could have been an article just about this guy, this talking about working on World War II.
Yeah.
And then maybe they make a separate thing that might source this.
Yeah.
As a thing, but no, that's the article.
There was kind of like an agenda there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Which I'm not trying to get like on the whole like games journalism pushing the agenda. It's fine, have an opinion, right? But it's hard if you want to learn about game stuff, and then this becomes like a popular thing where it's like, well, like, oh, X game came out, too bad it's terrible because this guy makes way more money than the QA team. And he does way less work. Screw him. This company sucks. LOL. Here's a link to the game press release. You know, It's like, well, I could have just read the game press release. And I feel like this is a trend that's pretty common in a lot of Kotaku articles lately, and I'm sure other people will go along to other outlets to get more clicks. Granted, Kotaku did get dunked. They're on this by Twitter, rightfully. So, I mean, some people agreed, but I feel like, if you go too far into this kind of making a statement out of an article, which is kind of good journalism, but you didn't really look too much. You kind of saw what you saw from the text and be like, screw this guy.
Yeah.
And that's what they said. It wasn't really research. You read something and you said, this rich dude, screw him.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could have made that you could have made an editorial on that or something.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. This coincides. I read the news a lot, right? And it's the same thing, really. It's like, just know where your news is coming from and know what you're reading. You know what I mean? Because everyone's gonna see things a certain way, and it's like you just have to know how to read things. Yeah. And if you can spot straight up from this article, you should be able to. It's pretty obvious that this guy's clear point is to make that to note that difference, right? Yeah. Between like this dev like saying that he's working hard. Yeah. But is like enjoying himself. Yeah. And this person writing this article is trying to make like a negative case on it, you know, and it's like understanding that this writer is doing that, you know, and just take it in stride and still get the facts out. Yeah. And just separate the facts from the opinions. Yeah.
But I think that brings up a new trend too, in a lot of game studios that don't even bother working with game outlets like Kotaku and stuff. They'll just release stuff on their own YouTube and social media. Yeah. I think game journalism is very different than it was now, in the sense that everyone has a Twitter account. Right. Everyone, instead of paying 4 different outlets like, GameSpot, IGN, Game Informer, Kotaku to like put out a piece about your game, or like giving them access and previews and stuff that only game journalisms get, they can just have their own PR people in their own studio, because game studios are much bigger nowadays. They can afford that. Right. And just have their own Twitter releases, work with influencers, stuff like that. Things that they didn't do before, Back then, you'd see the occasional Snoop Dogg show up for a Madden like preview or something like that. But at the end of the day, you're still seeing IGN do a feature on X game, and then Game Informer writing about it in the monthly Game Informer magazine. Nowadays, you don't need that. So I feel like if game developers see stuff like this, they're going to be like, I don't even, why do we even work with these people, So I think it can put a damper on a lot of smaller outlets that need game developer cooperation to put stuff out. because these bigger outlets are just letting the writers have free reign and do whatever they want, to a point where the quality control isn't quite as tight as it should be. But I have no gripe with expression. If you want to say like, hey, screw this guy from Sledgehammer because he makes so much money and these people don't, then say that. Write about that's its own article,
Yeah.
But this guy was talking about research he put in Call of Duty World War II, and then also talking about how this guy is also working on the new not Dead Space game from PUBG Universe. He's working on that too.
Yeah.
Which you don't get from this. You get the whole like the QA people not getting paid enough and him going on vacation.
Yeah, it's super weird because they took this one conversation or this one interview and kind of took it out of context.
Yeah, used it. Bit. Yeah, definitely. Like you said, agenda pushing. But like I said, I don't want to censor people. Say what you want,
Yeah, but get more information or get more.
Make it more about that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Kotaku articles that have been like that. I just pulled that one out because that one was a hot topic. For a while in the Twitter sphere. But I mean, what do you think, Steve?
I have no opinions.
No opinions?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Because for one, I don't really read as much online articles about gaming as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't see it, but I mean, looking at this one article, I do see with the things that Josh was saying, where you could definitely see that he definitely has an agenda that he's pushing. And if you're saying that a lot of articles are kind of going this route, then you're right. Like, then what's the point of why are these companies going to go to Kotaku or Game Informer if they're just not going to represent their company in the best light, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like, why would they? It's like, oh, this guy just talked crap about me working at, just doing research on Call of Duty, and he's trying to put a negative name to that, and it's like, why would they work with them again?
Well, and it's weird because it's like, just separate the news from the opinion, you know what I mean? And like do your editorials and do your updates or whatever it is.
You're right, because it does feel like an opinionated article, and it's straight in the news.
Yeah.
So it's like, what news am I seeing in this?
Yeah. And like, that's fine. Like, write your opinion, and like, it's a good point. It is a good point. I'm not gonna like knock it.
Not a bad point. Yeah.
But like, give me some more like on the other end of it, like from other publishers or other developers. I mean, and like,
make that its own thing.
Yeah, make a case.
Yeah. And I think moving on with that, the whole influencer thing.
Right.
I think, and that's what I was gonna mention that right now, and that I think that's why I see a lot of companies start to work with like YouTubers and streamers a lot more often, because
they're not as jaded.
They don't have to pay. Sorry, I was gonna say they don't have to pay extraordinary amount of money and like TV commercials to get their name out there. They could just pay $10,000 or $50,000 to this one streamer, and they'll just promote the game for
or just offer a code.
Yeah. Well, and it's beneficial for the streamer too, because then they have early access.
Yeah, they're a mutual thing, which is what gaming journalism had for such a long time. And I think Steve not even reading is a good like sign teller of like, people don't even care about like, it just makes people less and less like even care about the whole gaming journalism sphere, and being like, I don't really need to know these things about games anyway, if it's all this, I'd rather just know nothing and just watch the streamers play the game. I don't need to know every inch in detail that gaming journalism could offer. I'd rather just watch a gameplay, and that's all I need,
Right.
It's like it's a different striking, because I feel like when I was like in high school, middle school, and I was watching those gaming channels and reading Game Informer and stuff, I was super fascinated with every little aspect of it. But nowadays it doesn't matter to me. Like, I could care less about the art process for the newest Halo game,
Well, yeah, and what you were saying earlier too. You can get the word straight from the mouth of the
Yeah,
developers
yeah.
now.
You just see tweets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, they'll
definitely,
give
yeah.
their own articles. They'll write their own
Well, and
things.
Halo now has their own even videos of like with the developers
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
explaining the
Yeah.
gameplay and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
Nintendo Directs,
Yeah.
same thing. It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna show you the game myself because it's cheaper, and I don't have to worry about criticism from anybody else. No one has to put their little spin on it.
mhm.
It's what my vision is for the game. It's going out through me and me only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, and it makes me curious of what the future has in stake for, gaming media as a whole, not just journalism.
And well, in journalism as a whole too, though. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of parallels.
Yeah,
between
yeah,
this and,
totally.
like,
Yeah, totally. But we'll get there's some good journalism, and we'll get to that later too. But for now, yeah, that, and then moving into like the influencers and games media as a whole, I feel like a lot of companies invest hard on influencers and personalities. I.e., like you look at like Rooster Teeth adopting all these channels at one point in time because of the names carried so much weight to
Mhm.
them, and that's a different form of games media, of course, but they're playing games and all that, and like playing
Yeah.
sometimes the newest games and getting special deals and all that, but that could blow up right in your face too,
Yeah.
i.e. like Funhouse and
Yeah.
Couch Chop working at Rooster Teeth, and it's kind of interesting how sometimes you can interfere too much in the let's just keep it clean in gaming and cause backlash on the other end of the balance where people don't even you miss the point from the beginning. I feel like that's like a good example is like you look at like Cow Chop and they had to mellow out because
Yeah.
of viewership. They're getting demonetized and stuff, and Rooster Teeth had to probably step in and be like, hey, we need money, so stop being unmoney friendly.
Yeah.
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 So I feel like, and then subsequently they fell apart and stopped existing. I feel like sometimes or games media as a general pushes all sorts of directions and isn't sure where to go, and it's kind of interesting. It's such a crazy field when you think of it, like to work in. Like imagine your whole life savings is dependent on these things.
Mhm.
You look at esports. Esports is so different now than what it was like 10 years ago. Esports was literally all about the gaming, right? And the number one esports team, I can't name a single player on their team, which is like 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody on the
I
team,
don't know.
but now they have deals with Gucci, So it's like, I feel like the gaming doesn't even matter in esports, and that's crazy because it's just like things just move so quickly in the field, and
It does. I
Yeah.
mean, I just remember like way back when, just even watching machinima videos,
yeah,
and that's how
Yeah.
that's how I got first started into like gaming videos and stuff.
yeah, and those
And
kind of
a
videos
lot of
wouldn't
people
last.
did that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it feels weird that a lot of these things too, especially now, like the current state of video games, right? Do you feel like it's catered to you? Like the current state of video games media, sorry. Like looking at YouTubers, looking at Twitch streamers, looking at like all that stuff, not
Like-
video games itself, but the stuff around it,
Like the
like the
mainstream.
influencers,
Yeah.
the YouTubers, Twitch streamers, games journalism, all that extra stuff. Do you think it's catered to you? If not, why?
I don't know.
It's hard to because like for me, it's
because technically
wanna
we're
say-
in the demographic still,
yeah.
18
You're
to
right. I mean-
27.
Mhm.
Barely.
And like what I want to say is like, I mean, it works. That's what I want to say. It works.
It works, but for you though,
Like, what do you mean?
like,
is it?
are you watching Twitch streamers that are popping? Are you watching the YouTubers that are popping? Are you, I mean, of course you're not reading articles, but stuff like that. Is that working for you? Or are you only getting your games and your games information from the source itself?
Nowadays, I get it from the source itself. Because for games that I've actually no, I don't know. That's a hard question because I usually like on Twitch. I usually just watch like Asmongold, and I mean, because he usually just plays
Yeah.
WoW.
Yeah. Which
But I
he's
mean,
kind
he's
of
been playing
he's
Final Fantasy,
popular.
and because of him playing Final Fantasy, it got me to
Yeah.
because I got to see him play it because
Yeah.
I didn't have to download it. I got to see him play it,
Mhm.
and now I've started playing Final Fantasy because of that.
Yeah.
And he talks to a lot of developers from like Ashes of Creation and New World, and
Mhm.
and that's how I get the gaming news on those games because he does all those interviews with them.
Gotcha.
So I guess it works. I mean, so yeah, I mean, yeah, in a way, yeah. I guess it is catered to me because that's how they're targeting me in a way because
Yeah.
they know how to get to admin and they admin gets to me.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. Just curious, just asking.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Shua?
I don't know.
Same?
I don't really watch streamers.
You don't watch streamers? What about YouTubers? Like
I do
gaming
watch.
YouTubers?
I do watch like groups of people. Like there's this channel called GameX that I'll watch for like game news and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really just to catch up on stuff because
Mm-hmm.
they'll tend to like consolidate like a week's worth of news into
Yeah.
like one video, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like the thing is too is like they're just being themselves in the video.
Yeah.
Like it feels genuine. It's not like
Yeah.
IGN or something or GameSpot where it feels like they're kind of playing a character.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like this dude's just talking to a camera and just talking about stuff,
Yeah.
and it's fine. Like if he has an opinion about it, I don't need to share that opinion, you know. But at least I know that it's his opinion, and I know after watching videos, for like after a year or so,
Yeah.
I know what games he likes
Mhm.
and what to trust and what's not to trust, for myself.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're all different. We're all gonna like different things.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
Again, as a consumer, to like remember is like know what works for you.
Yeah.
And stop trying to do the one thing that fits everyone.
Yeah. Do you going on that though? Do you guys think you were ever on the pulse of gaming media?
Say again.
Like.
What do you mean?
Were you watching Achievement Hunter when it was the thing to watch? And were you watching G4 when it was the thing to watch? And were you reading Game Informer when it was the thing to read?
I don't think so.
No,
not personally.
I don't know, because I mean, I'm remembering a lot of those X-Play reviews.
Yeah.
And that's how I did get most of my gaming reviews.
Yeah, and that was the way.
The way, yeah.
That was,
and then I do remember getting Game Informer subscriptions.
Yeah.
And reading all those.
Yeah. Was that?
I mean, you have a point. Shit,
yeah. You were part of that, but nowadays, right? That version of that is like watching Nadeshot and Pokimane stream games and watching all those streamers and not even like YouTube as much these days either.
It goes much deeper than that though too now because everything's so personalized in the way that things are delivered to you.
Yeah. It's definitely shifted, right? We went from cable TV to just needing an internet connection.
Right. And even further than that, it's like your phone's listening to you and stuff and looking at your search history.
Yeah. Algorithms. Ads. Yeah, you go deep. Yeah, of course. But yeah, back then, right? Going on game facts.
Mm-hmm. Game facts, yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Like, and I'm not trying to like give us a nostalgia like boner or something like that, right? Like, oh yeah, things were better back then. It's just different, right?
Right.
And it's like, how does that make you feel, knowing that those kinds of things aren't it anymore, and to find those things is harder and harder because that's not what quote unquote the mainstream wants.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's
or are you finding it somewhere else, or are you finding something different now?
It's weird because I feel like we used to like share things. We used to share this channel that was like nothing but video games, or we used to share like MTV that used to give us like a bunch of music videos, We used to kind of curate and cater to like try to cater to us,
Yeah.
But now that like we have YouTube, we can watch whatever we want whenever we want, and we can choose not to watch something, or we can choose to support something or not.
Yeah.
I think it's putting us into like these like groups and like these niche groups. And I'm not trying to make it like all political, but we are growing like more divided. We are finding our own groups because that's what people tend to do. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we find people that are similar,
Yeah.
and we get close to them,
Yeah.
and then like, you know, like people that
Yeah.
are different, it's hard, like it's
Yeah.
different to be around. You
Yeah,
know?
and I agree. There's I think with the greatness of the internet that there is something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we all know what's popular,
Mm-hmm.
and we all pretty much, to my knowledge, we don't go towards it.
No, we don't.
We don't.
I haven't played Call of Duty in fucking
Yeah,
so
like
long.
Call of Duty. None of us play Among Us anymore. I don't play Rust.
Is it
you
still
know?
up there?
What?
Among Us, is it still pretty popping?
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it might not be what it like was like peak COVID time, but like it's probably up there. You know, we're not playing whatever every other streamer is playing.
Yeah.
Like outside this channel, you know, just like on our own time. You know, it definitely feels like things have shifted.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, too? I feel like the age that kids start doing stuff too now is younger than
sure.
it used to be. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, especially
that number is coming into account, and like
yeah.
kids are being targeted.
Yeah,
especially like Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree for sure.
It's nuts because I think that's something that I don't personally for sure don't consider all the time. Especially like I always think about music too, right? Like you have MGK and Travis Barker like releasing a bunch of like new pop punk stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like I don't personally get it, but they're getting millions and millions of like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I agree.
Or that MGK when he did that song with
Calvin Quinn.
Valkyrie
Yeah. Wait, with who?
It was with Valkyrie and
oh
like
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big. Yeah, that's true. Valkyrie, the streamer,
did
a song with
together?
MGK. Yeah, and it was like that was huge.
So bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we don't like it.
But
No,
it was
he
huge?
Shua didn't even know it existed, right? That's a
Yeah.
point. You know, it's like there's a lot of stuff being made out there that's popular and it's meant for everyone, and we're not on it anymore. And like, how does that make you
Are we
feel?
fucking boomers now, or
That's what I'm at. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Shit.
coming to cope with the fact that there's so much going on, right, in the gaming sphere on that thing, you know. And I kind of put it in like, especially in the notes on the whole thing with G4 TV coming back, right? Have you guys seen G4 TV?
They're on Twitch.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting because
It's interesting.
it's not the same, and I don't think it will be because it obviously can't for multiple reasons. Lack of people from the original crew, you know. Plus, like, they gotta fit into what's popping, right? Because they got money to make, you know. They gotta pay all those people, so it's kind of interesting. It makes me feel like, is this, you know, my reality clashing with the current reality? It's like what G4 used to be, trying to fit in this bubble.
Yeah.
That, you know, Pokimane and Nate Shot and all of them like flourish in.
I mean, they are. They're trying it. I mean,
yeah, they're trying to. Exactly.
I checked out one of their streams and I remember it was Kevin Pereira and I think his name's Will Neff.
Yeah.
And Will Neff, he's a avid Twitch streamer. And
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's just a weird mix because it's just like two different people from two different like mediums. Because you know, Kevin Pereira was mainly TV. And,
yeah, but that was our Twitch. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't have Twitch yet.
Yeah. Yeah. G4 TV was our Twitch, and that was, you know, and it's very dated, right? So you're trying to watch, you know, this stuff, and it's like, man, like I get it why you're doing this. But like, make it stop. So it's kind of funny. Like, it made me think, like, oh man, like, is this what it's like? You know?
Yeah. They definitely give me that vibes of that Steve Buscemi meme.
Yeah. How you do fellow gamers,
fellow kids,
fellow
gamers,
yeah, basically, right? I think G4 is going through this big identity crisis, and it's like, are we going through that?
Us?
Yeah, us as people. Are we kind of okay with it? I feel like I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm okay with it.
I'm
the,
okay
the
with-
fact
yeah.
that I didn't really realize that it was happening to me,
Yeah.
that you had to bring it up, and like
Yeah.
how it being targeted. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
I'm
not
fine with
it.
it. Apparently,
We're not it.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and it doesn't make me mad that I'm not it. You know,
Mhm.
and, like the internet makes it easier, but it's just an interesting time for all of us. You know, we're all over the age of 25.
We're not the focus of attention anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what you're
What?
learning. You know.
Yeah.
You know, you're not you were like, oh, kids are younger and younger. I was like 10 when I was watching G4, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. These kids, like, they're like 6 and playing Fortnite already.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I was
nuts.
6 and playing video games too, you know? The difference was mine wasn't able to hook up to the internet and
Yeah.
I couldn't play with friends, you
Yeah.
know? I would just play by myself or whatever. So it's like I was still playing games as a kid and watching games media and consuming it, you know, even freaking tips and tricks, cheat codes, like magazines and stuff. There was games media and I felt like it was for me because there's like Lego Star Wars cheat codes and a cheat guide, you know. So like clearly it was catered to us, whether you know you thought of it or not. So now that we're not the focus, it's just an interesting time for me. I'm not like I'm dealing with it, I'm fine with it, but I know some people are complaining so much about these things, like these like fake influencers. I'm tired of this, blah blah blah. I'm like, man, these people are my age, you know.
Yeah.
Why are they, you know? And then watching G4 and being like, wow, this is weird. you know, seeing Adam Sessler hang out with like teenagers trying to play stupid like influencer games and Twitch streaming and all that stuff. It's like, funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just look at the numbers though. You know, like
look at the numbers.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of money to be made, and that's why
success.
they're doing it. You know. Yeah. I doubt like Kevin Pereira can go to a desk job. You know, that'd be weird. But that's the thing is like they got to do what they got to do, and it's such a clash because we're doing something too. You know, kind of on a smaller scale, of course, but we're
out
not,
of love.
Out of love. But it's kind of interesting how this definitely doesn't fit the box.
Oh yeah.
And we're not trying to be different. Like we're just doing what we want. We're not trying to be like, we're going against the grain. We're doing it our way. Blah blah blah. We're just doing, you know,
doing us. And that's the most important thing, you know. And if these streamers, as long as they're staying genuine and you know they're doing their own thing,
do what you want to do.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't bother me, but it's just funny, you know. We're not it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, we'll never get a G4 TV how we like it ever again.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Final thoughts, anybody?
Old.
Huh? You're
We're
old. We're old.
Oh yeah, we were just
We're
talking
old.
about
And
our parents
it
earlier.
only gets worse. We only get older. Next thing you know, like when we're doing this podcast way down the road, like, oh man, I woke up with a kink in my neck. Oh, my back hurts.
Yeah, my back already hurts.
I don't want to. I don't want to play games anymore. They hurt my eyes.
We're still waiting for the next Halo to come out.
Let's.
This isn't like the Halo 3.
Yeah, I miss my old. I miss my regular LED TV. These new TVs hurt my eyes.
Yeah.
Let's get into news, but before that, let's quickly read our sponsors again.
Oh, where?
If you didn't know, today's podcast is brought to you by Instacart. You know, grocery shopping. We all got to do it now that we're older. You know, we can't have mom and dad grocery shop for us, but we can have some guy named John do it for us over at Instacart. You too can just call upon the random person to grocery shop for you. Save on delivery fees on your first order of $35 or more with our affiliate link in the description of this episode. Thank you, Instacart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Instacart.
You want to do all of them?
Yeah. We're also brought to you by NordVPN. Save 69% on 2 years right now. Special deal with NordVPN right now. If you're listening to this like a year later, I don't think this deal exists anymore. But use our affiliate link in the description of this episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And also, Cedar Squared is a gaming channel. And what do we like to use? Good gaming peripherals. And what makes sense is that we're a Razer affiliate. So support the podcast, get you some gaming gear at the same time, and use our affiliate link in the description of this episode. Boom! Thank you, Razer.
We're a gaming channel. I thought
We're
we were a
gaming
Marvel
channel.
podcast.
Yeah, you want to get some. You want to get some. Yeah, you want to get a new Razer laptop with the RTX 3090, so that way you can watch the Marvel movies in 4K. Do it.
Yeah,
You know, play Marvel Avengers on your new Razer laptop.
Oh, that's
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, no, for
Use
real
our
though,
link.
these links and all these sponsors really help us out. If you can use them, it'd be super awesome.
Yeah, support the cause.
Yeah, because
Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Razer, NordVPN, and Instacart. All right. News. A lot of bad news. Activision Blizzard is being sued by the state of California for workplace harassment.
This is big news.
This is huge news.
Yeah.
Huge. The state is onto you, Blizzard. It's not funny anymore.
Was it ever funny?
I mean,
to them?
No,
Maybe.
Because they thought it was at the time with their frat boy quote unquote culture. So yeah, Jason Schreier broke the news about this July 21st. Video game giant Activision Blizzard, makers of games including World of Warcraft and Diablo, fosters a frat boy culture in which female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, unequal pay, retaliation, according to a lawsuit filed by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. This comes from a 2-year investigation by the state agency. Found the company discriminated against female employees in terms and conditions of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, and termination. Company leadership constantly failed to take steps to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, the agency said. This is very big news. A lot of terrible things. We won't go into the nitty gritty just for trigger warnings and all that, but you can read it. Just search the word Activision Blizzard, really, and you'll find it. It'll probably be the first thing that shows up.
It's I don't know. It's Blizzard. Oh, I guess Blizzard's always fostered that culture, though.
Yeah. There's always been like an aura around those companies, Blizzard and Activision combined. You know.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising. It's sad, but not surprising that these things happen from a giant company, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically, was it Bobby Kotick came out? Said there is no place in our company or industry for sexual misconduct or harassment of any kind. Basically, like the stock, like, well, I'm like this. We don't encourage this. I don't know why this happened and stuff like that. But it feels like that they think that this is like they had no idea this is going on. There's definitely a lot of suspicion into this. I'm sure there will be a lot of breaking things once when they go to court.
Yeah. It just pisses me off how hypocritical they are, because with the whole what is it, Blitzkung?
Yeah.
The guy from, is it Hearthstone?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Because he just stated his opinions again of China's government, and they immediately took him out out of the tournament.
Yeah.
And then with the voice actor from he voices a character in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
He was falsely accused for sexual assault and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't wait for any evidence to come out. They just immediately took his voice lines out of the game. Yeah. And it came out eventually that the person who was accusing them was lying.
Yeah.
But the second that the news is released from Bloomberg News saying they've been California's been investigating for 2 years, they're like, wait, hold up, let's wait a minute to see what else is happening. It's just so hypocritical than this.
Yeah, and definitely, there was a statement from one of the Activision Blizzard spokesperson calling it basically like bureaucrats, saying that they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like California is basically just trying to cancel them.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. They've been trying to get out of California for years because of this.
Yeah.
And it's like that's kind of concerning that you've been trying to get out because you don't like that California's trying to make sure you guys
Hold
are
you
on. Yeah,
accountable.
hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So it's kind of concerning, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably trying to get new jobs now at Activision Blizzard because they don't want to be a part of this company anymore. Also, Activision Blizzard had neither Activision nor Blizzard accounts have tweeted at all since this news broke. Yeah,
rough stuff.
So they
Well,
got
it's like,
World of
yeah.
Warcraft released a statement, which was also like a blanket statement, like we do not support this. We like blah blah blah. We pride in like inclusivity. But there's a lot of testimonies in like all these court papers. Like this isn't like a journalist thing. These are court documents.
Yeah, there's actual documents.
Yeah, these are like legally binding things of like statements, including them reporting to HR.
An actual investigation.
By them report. Yeah, people reporting and nothing happening.
So the thing that was also kind of interesting, I find interesting, was that one of the guys named his name was Alex Afranabi.
Yeah.
He was like a huge developer and the original World of Warcraft when it first came out, and he was responsible for a lot of like the big name things that you could do end game in Classic. But he hasn't been working there for like a year or so because Blizzard, I think they somehow already knew this.
Yeah.
And they just let him go, but they kept his character in game. Like he has his own in-game character like in World of Warcraft.
Wow.
And they recently, with all this news coming out, they just they went back and took him out. But it's like like they had him out of the company already for over a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. Blizzard's stupid.
Blizzard, Activision Blizzard is definitely having not a good time, and they will probably justly will be getting some sort of action done to them in the coming weeks when they go to court with California.
Also, I'd like to point out too, what sucks is like I'm sure it's not the majority of the employees that are, took part of what happened.
Yeah, but definitely people in power were doing this. And
right.
Like definitely fostering that.
Yeah, definitely fostering this culture and allowing it,
I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just saying that it's going to suck because like all these like employees, like their jobs are really in jeopardy now and like their livelihoods and, all the money that was coming in, I don't know. It's gonna suck for a lot of people.
Well, I know it does suck, and
and this is a public corporation
last
too.
Week they did go on strike.
Yeah, they did go on strike. There was a walkout. Yeah, right. And and now there's talks about like a union busting law firm.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
So like the same law firm that is working with Amazon. On their union is working now with Blizzard for internal thing instead of like doing other things that they probably should be doing. They're more concerned about their employees unionizing.
Because that was like one of the main gripes like with a lot of players too. It's like in the documents they said that a lot of the higher ups or hired developers they would kind of pawn off like some of their duties off to the female employees, right?
Yeah.
And it's and like not really doing their jobs. Getting drunk at work and stuff like that. And like getting drunk at work, that's not really an issue for me.
Yeah.
It's the like you're pawning off your work to other people.
Yeah.
And you could see how it affects the game because the retail game hasn't been good for over.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, ever since like probably Miss Pandaria or and that was like in 2013.
Yeah, that's huge.
And a lot of people they don't like how they're making the game now, so that like with the way they're not really supporting the game, they're not really making the game any better, coupled with the fact with with all this news coming out. I mean, I don't blame why people are shifting over to other MMOs.
Yeah, so bad all around. Hopefully something good comes out of it.
At least
through
this
the legal
investigation.
system. Hopefully something good happens.
At least something's being done in the first place. Like it wasn't just allowed to continue.
Hopefully a lot of those affected are finding new opportunities somewhere else outside of this company. I mean, one more thing to point out: Activision Blizzard is a publicly owned company, So if shares go
public
down,
tribute.
that means a lot of people will be losing jobs anyway.
Mhm.
So this is kind of lose for a lot of those lower employees anyway. So hopefully they quickly get somewhere else, firing up those resumes, CVs, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moving on though. We don't want to make the whole thing about this.
Kind of
It's
related.
easy. Kind of related.
It is really.
Final Fantasy 14 is so popular the developers are apologizing of how full the servers are and looking into increasing the servers. So, this was prior to the news, by the way.
Oh, really?
Prior to this was
it was.
Yeah, this was just happening already naturally.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, basically they're just gonna start increasing servers, adding server expansion. The company Square Enix raised login caps. They're adding there's so many players playing that the servers just can't handle it across across all the servers. They're also adding the auto logout feature.
Oh, cool.
So that way people who are idle, they're not stuck in there,
Actually, I saw this in action because I remember when I first created my character.
Yeah.
I tried creating a character in the North America region,
Yeah.
specifically the California region, whatever.
Yeah.
And there was like I think because they have worlds, I guess.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You could flip in between those worlds, right?
Yeah.
So all those worlds are part of this one big server.
Yeah.
And I joined the server, and probably 8 of the 10 worlds were all full.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I have to join this one specific server just to create my character there, to get started.
Yep.
Totally. But it's fun. It's a good game.
It's a good game, and it's not as problematic. So definitely, if you're looking for a new MMO to play, we're not sponsored by by the way. If you're looking for something more ethically cleansed and something more kosher with your plus more more supported, Final Fantasy 14's out there.
Yeah.
Free trial.
I'll just say that the people in Final Fantasy 14 are so much nicer to newcomers than World of Warcraft is.
Really?
Not as gatekeepy.
I remember World of Warcraft. Let's say if you're trying to tank a dungeon, if you mess up an aggro pull, or if you don't tank something right, usually people will call out the tank oh, you're horse shit, you're dog shit tank, just leave the game.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy 14, I remember I was in this instance, and I'm not a tank in Final Fantasy. But I was with the tank, and the tank for half the instance forgot to put their tank aura up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just some guy halfway through the thing, he's like, "Oh, dude, don't forget to pop it up. Don't want you to mess up later on."
Yeah.
So they're a lot more friendlier to new players than I would say World of Warcraft is.
Yeah. Good. That just means they care about their community, and that's good. That's great.
You're right. Yeah.
An MMO you don't want to be playing if you have a nice new EVGA 3090 though is New World from Amazon.
Yeah, I heard about that.
New World has been bricking EVGA RTX 3090s due to its unlocked frame rate on the menus. This is it's a two-party thing where both, if they're by themselves, not a big deal. If a game has an unlocked frame rate, the EVGA 3090s apparently just go as high as they can until the wheels fall off. And on most games, that's not a big deal because most games, either way, they're not going to be flowing at past 200 frames, right?
Yeah.
On any game really, right? And then the New World thing with the unlocked frame rate menus that could go literally thousands and thousands of frames per second, not a big deal on most cards because most graphic cards have a thing that locks them to 120 or whatever, 200. But when these two things are put together, it causes bricked 3090s. And mind you, this is only EVGA ones. So if you have an NVIDIA one or something else, this doesn't affect you. But if you have an EVGA one, you probably bricked yours. Good news is EVGA is giving refunds and sending in replacements. So there's
what's Amazon doing though?
Amazon, they released a statement. I don't know. They released a statement basically saying, go to your NVIDIA settings and put a lock on. Basically saying, our game can't do anything about this. Go in your computer settings and fix this before it's too late. If it's not already too late. Yeah. So that's tough. Basically. So hopefully, they do something about it. I mean, I don't know much about New World except the crazy amount of ads I get for it.
Right.
So there's a lot of money in it, but apparently not enough in the development. In quality assurance at least.
It's funny because who was saying? I think it was Asmund that was saying it. Asmongold that was saying that New World coming from a the company, the caliber is Amazon. The game is just so clunky compared to like Final Fantasy 14, which was made for a PlayStation game.
Yeah, it was a PS3 game.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be interesting.
It is interesting, but so New World already taking L's in beta, so we'll see how that goes. Moving on, Steam Deck. We didn't talk about this. Steam Deck is announced and the pre-orders are up. If you haven't got yours already, you're gonna not get it till like next year. But
gonna get your handheld PC.
This was talked about forever. Like someone was like, "Oh, someone's gonna make this," handheld PC. You know, there was one, an Alienware one. I remember.
Oh, really?
Like kind of like a Steam Deck, but it was Alienware, but it was like so, like expensive, and it got hot. I heard, and like. It was big and clunky. I mean, the Steam Deck's big, but this thing looked. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let me look this up.
It's heavier than a Switch for sure.
Oh yeah, no.
Like
the Steam Deck is 2 PS Vita or 4 PS Vitas. As far as size.
Is that your metric for it?
No, it's not like a picture. Yeah. PS Vita fits perfectly.
Like, how much do you weigh? Oh, just like 20 PS Vitas.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good metric.
I'm gonna adopt that metric system.
Yeah. That's funny.
Portable PC.
How fast are you going? 40 Vitas per second.
I think it was a tablet.
That's funny.
Alienware. Was it a tablet?
A concept UFO?
This thing, it was also kind of clunky, but it looked like a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then someone else had one too. Gaming tablet. Someone had one that was like kind of not the iPad. I can't remember. It was one of those gaming companies, and I was like, this is not gonna do well. I can't remember on the top of my head, but there's another one too that's out there that's also like gamer looking, but it ran like crap.
Game Gear?
Yeah, I might have. No, it's not Game Gear.
It's nuts though, right? Because this is kind of cool, and it's
a gaming PC,
right? And the hardware is all there, but it's like, what's gonna win? Is it gonna be the hardware or is it gonna be the software? Where you're able
PC
to
games.
Yeah, but where you start being able to stream PC games.
No, it's downloaded.
I know, that's what I mean though. It's like eventually though we're gonna get to the where like streaming is
when network is good enough. Yeah, true. It probably will because it's just a PC.
Right.
Like they said, you could put Windows on this thing.
Right. But what's to stop someone from just getting like an iPad and then getting like GeForce Now or whatever, the next new thing?
Yeah, true. But I think this is like if you want it downloaded and you could play this on the train or something with no Wi-Fi.
True.
Or whatever, going camping and you want to play like a PC game, you can.
Yeah.
You go to a hotel and like, oh, I really want to play, I don't know, Gary's Mod. You can. Half-Life 2. I want to play Half-Life 2 portably.
Yeah, true.
Stuff like
that. For the first time.
I don't think this is for people who are trying to play cutting-edge gaming PC stuff. You're not playing this for power, clearly. Yeah. But if you want something that just kind of works and it's all in-house Steam, then there you go. Plus, you can do whatever you want with it. They said, like, you could put Windows on it. You could Epic Game Store.
An emulator?
Yeah. And that
potentially run Nintendo games.
Yeah, you could.
Switch games.
They basically said you could do what you want with this.
Yeah.
So you can make an emulator machine.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So it's kind of cool, and also there's a dock. So it allows a lot of people for a cheaper barrier of entry into PC gaming.
Yeah.
Like $400. Now you have a gaming PC. You know,
Yeah.
true, it's not cutting edge, but and one thing because the thing with gaming PCs is like you have to upgrade the parts within it to keep going. This thing is kind of locked in because it's all you can't do anything except add storage to it through a SD card. So, but yeah, up for pre-order.
I hope it's good.
I'm sure it will be something. If Valve has a weird like
Steam Machine.
Steam Machine sucked, but the index I guess was good.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's the VR, right? The VR
the
kit?
VR thing. I heard it was good.
Yeah.
So
I heard it was pretty good, decent.
Yeah, so we'll see. Their hardware,
I mean,
hit
I'm
or
just
miss.
glad that they're trying something. Because when you don't really see companies really try as much.
Yeah, I'm cool with new ideas. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Moving on, back to more bad news. Ubisoft says Skull and Bones has officially passed the alpha after 8 years of development, $120 million spent towards this development. Thanks to our people over in the Singapore government. If you don't know what Skull and Bones is, that's okay because the game was announced like almost a decade ago. And nothing happened.
I remember, didn't they like bring it back up when we went to E3?
Yeah,
like 2017?
Yeah, because
I remember Skull and Bones was like a big thing there because I know CFTs was there.
How old it was is the thing is it was a branch off, like a spin-off almost of Assassin's Creed 4. When pirates and stuff. Because we're gonna make a game that's just this.
Black Flag was so good.
Yeah, right. And they're like, we're gonna make a game that's just the pirate stuff. And they got to deal with the Singapore government to basically like a tax deal to build Ubisoft Singapore. And then sure enough, things went bad in a Ubisoft way. More or less, development took forever. The game was scrapped multiple times. There was a lot of like sort of nepotism, collusion kind of thing going on where they had a policy where only French people could be in management positions. So a lot of Ubisoft French employees were being sent to Singapore for like a year to go be management and get a lot of money and then come back to France or Montreal or wherever, going back to work, leaving a lot of Singapore people on basically what they called a French ceiling. So there's a lot of malpractice there at Ubisoft, and we'll see how it goes. The thing is, they have to finish the game because they signed a deal with Singapore government. And they have to ship the game. That's why it's still going, and that's why it's costing so much money. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going the Cyberpunk route, huh?
Yeah, they're probably gonna ship it like as soon as it could pass like basically QA. Like the moment it can run and like not crash and break your console.
Yeah.
It's going out. Expect Skull and Bones to be a clunker. It was basically what this article means.
I mean, that would be better.
And
than
Ubisoft,
Cyberpunk.
surprisingly, is still a dirty company. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought?
And also kind of funny. They canceled that phone game. That
Which one?
I don't know. Exactly. It had it was the one that showed.
Diablo.
There was the one that had Sam Fisher in it.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was basically like a game that like had all the Tom Clancy characters in, but it got canceled. Or it got unsupported. It came out like a year ago, but it's no longer being supported.
They were just making a lot of bad decisions, including the new shooter that they're trying to push
Yeah, the
to.
X-Defiant. Yeah. Which I don't really need to talk
Tom
about
Clancy
it.
Or no?
It is Tom Clancy for some reason.
God damn.
I know, it's rough.
Yeah, just let him die. Let it die.
Just
yeah, it is literally just name. I was like, I don't remember this Tom Clancy book, but
Bring back Advanced Warfighter.
Bring back just regular Rainbow Six.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anywho, moving on to good games. Splitgate.
Oh yeah.
The devs, before they can even release it out of beta, they need to delay it. Before 1.0. It's going to release this month. I think like August this week, I think, or next week.
Pretty soon.
Let me click on it. Basically, if you don't know, it's Halo with portals.
Yeah.
It's the best way.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
game earlier.
Yeah, it's coming
You're
from
right.
1047 Games, and they got a deal with a venture capital firm to help push this game out. Basically the server was just full, so they had to delay it. So yeah, August there's no update when, but Splitgate is a free to play game. Yep, like I said, it plays like Halo. I tried a little bit of it. Um, but yeah, it offers a lot of things. They're gonna include 3 new maps, mouse and keyboard support, FOV slider on console,
Ooh.
and customizable control layouts and mappings. They're offering a lot for this game. It's a cool idea. It's literally Portal.
And it's free to
with Halo.
play.
It's free to play. What's the worst that can, happen?
Yeah, I kept getting this one mixed up with that BR.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What's that called?
I don't remember.
Oh wow.
Well, it don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, that game's looking good, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that will be hot for a little bit. But yeah,
For a
sometime
little
this month. Sometime this month.
We'll see. It could be another.
We'll see.
yeah, could be another.
That BR doesn't matter because there's only one BR in
And
Josh's
that-
life.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's Apex.
PUBG.
That's Apex.
Oh.
And the new character, Seer.
That was my segue.
Yeah, Steve segued and Shua dropped it. Just real
I
quick.
thought we were gonna talk about
He
PUBG.
did.
He dropped it. So, yep, Seer is here.
Oh.
Yeah, Seer is here.
You need to be on the marketing team.
I know. I got.
dude.
Hey,
Seer
who
is
is that?
here.
Respawn? You hire your boy.
Dude.
Just put me on a promotional thing. She would be so salty if I was like,
No, I'd have an in and
You
no
use me for clout?
obligation. Yeah.
She would be like, yeah, I kind of, made Zach what he is.
Yeah.
Like, just go.
I'm the one that pushed Apex so
go on
hard.
this big, yeah.
Seer's
but-
looking pretty cool,
Yeah,
dude.
Series cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like what they're doing. Also, season 10 coming out literally tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's
August 3rd.
they're doing a great job. They're like the way that they're pushing characters and the way they like create the hype
Yeah.
for each season and the way that the meta changes and the
Yeah.
balance changes.
Yeah.
They really do listen to their fan base and it's refreshing.
Character looks cool.
Right.
It's like a illusion kind of stuff, right? With the droid thing.
Oh
with the
no,
drone.
yeah, it's he's like a recon character. He can
Okay.
like, I don't know, he's kind of a lot actually. But he his all like like it's like an area where you can see people's footsteps and see if where they're shooting from. His
Ah.
tactical like stops people from healing and stuns them, and like you can see their health bar. And then if you ADS like his passive, you can see where people are pretty much.
Oh.
It like gives you a small indicator.
Oh, that's cool.
Probably gonna be OP at launch.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean naturally, right? Because that's usually what they do with their new characters.
Kind of.
OP,
I don't know if that's what the the intention is,
but
but yeah. Well, yeah. For most of them, not Fuse.
Yeah.
Fuse kind of sucks.
yeah. Well, we'll
Yeah.
definitely stream that.
Yeah.
I'm sure she already has here.
I'm going to.
She will have here by the time you watch us stream it.
Yes.
I'll probably get into just to show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Apex.
Yeah.
Keeps on
Apex.
giving.
Yeah.
Moving on with
I'll
DLC,
check
Outer Wilds.
More DLC, huh?
One of the darling, not Outer Worlds.
Oh, yeah. You
Wilds.
got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outer Wilds
Wow.
is an indie game. It's an indie game from Annapurna and Mobius Digital.
Yes.
It's basically indie No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
but puzzles instead of action and stuff.
And Loop, right?
Yeah, there's a loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. I beat it. I highly recommend it if you haven't played it. It's super good. It doesn't feel like it's indie. That's how good it is.
Okay.
It's a small scope in a sense. There's like 6 planets that you can explore, but they're very well thought out. Each planet has like a bit of lore and like puzzles to them and stuff. It's really cool though. Really good game, and I'm glad it's getting DLC. It's called Echoes of the Eye. They showed it off at the Annapurna thing. Annapurna, if you don't know, is like the publisher that makes all these
Indie game?
kind of banger indie games like What Remains of Edith Finch,
Oh, good one.
stuff like that. Yeah, they're that studio. So
Cool.
definitely a lot of stuff. Donut County, I think, was another one that they did,
Okay.
which was like opposite Katamari,
Oh, okay.
with the hole getting bigger kind of thing.
Yeah.
So really cool. Outer Wilds DLC. I think it comes out this month, or next month. I think September. Let me check. Let me get a date for you.
Get closer to the mic.
I am closer to the mic. But let me see. I think they did like the whole coming soon thing, but let me see.
Mm-hmm.
September 28th, coming to PS4 and other consoles, Xbox, Switch, PC,
Oh.
Epic Game Store,
Okay.
Steam too.
Tight.
So yeah,
Not too far away.
Yeah, games on sale right now too on Steam for like $15.
Also
it
on
was
Game Pass?
it was on, no, I don't think it is anymore.
Oh, is
They
it?
took it off.
Oh, dang.
So you have to buy it now.
Darn.
It is DLC, so you probably have to own Outer Wilds to play it. So get it on sale while you can
Okay.
before the DLC comes out. Moving on, Battle 2042 new mode called Battlefield Portal. Mix and match of eras from across all the battlefields, including World War One, 1942, and the current. Looks cool. It looks like a lot of fun modes. There's a trailer.
You have to own the past games too.
No, I think
Play
it's
those
just
or
a
no?
mode. It's just a mode in the game.
Yeah, it's gonna
Oh,
be pretty
shit.
cool.
Yeah, so it's like knives only.
Yeah.
Or
Nazis versus like the people from Bad Company too.
yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, so
Oh shit.
it's cool. It's a cool trailer if you haven't seen it, but it shows a lot of different modes on it and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
let's see. It's just more into the pot for Battlefield at this point. You know,
It's like, why not?
ready for a home run. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Especially with their direct competition being kind of sacked.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anything to just improve the quality of life of the game is probably the best
Yeah,
thing.
just
'Cause
giving
there's
you-
nothing like there's no downside to doing that.
Yeah, so there we
Actually,
go. Just
sounds
more
pretty
stuff.
cool.
More
Yeah.
stuff to play.
Looking
Battlefield's
strong.
looking strong.
Mhm.
Moving on, Halo Infinite releases their tech preview demo for press and influencers to play,
Mhm.
and people that signed up. Open.
Yeah,
It was open
people
too.
we know.
You can sign up. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
people that have played it too.
I
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Shout out Zen.
yeah, a lot of good people playing it, and people like it. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure. I don't think anybody said they didn't like it.
Yeah.
So,
Halo's always been like a solid shooter.
yeah,
You know, as long as they
Yeah.
keep the core DNA in it, it's
Yeah.
gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fine.
grappling
at the
hook
very
looks
least.
dope.
Yeah.
The weapons look good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. I think the biggest draw is that they got rid of red versus blue. There's just like an aura around each.
Boo. No.
So,
Whatever.
Whatever. If it works, it works. It looks pretty easy to see though that they're red or blue.
Good.
Yeah. So it's not like a big deal, honestly. I mean, if you really care about the red versus blue thing, you know, please
That's a good
refer to
joke.
the previous part of our podcast where you're not part of the demographic
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's Master Chief Collection will still exist.
Always.
Play that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then to cap it off, Psychonauts 2. The story trailer dropped. Game comes out this month. If you haven't seen the story
Looking forward to
trailer,
it.
I highly recommend it. It's looking good. There's a lot of good stuff in that trailer. A lot of good worlds.
Yeah.
Platforming still there. I mean, the level design is the most important thing, and the level design looks really strong as always. So, I'm excited.
Yeah.
What is it? 3
You're-
weeks away.
Yeah, you're the fanboy. You're the
I'm
one.
I'm
This
the
is all
fanboy.
you.
This is
Yeah,
me.
it's all you.
So,
Psychonauts segment.
Yeah.
yep,
I'm
I'm excited.
expecting a
It-
full playthrough.
That's no problem. so I definitely will be playing that, and not just on this channel, but probably just in general.
Yeah.
So watch the trailer. It's good. Game comes out August 25th
Mm-hmm.
or 24th.
Double check that.
It's one of the two.
The fact that you don't know. means
25th.
you're
I
not
knew it.
sure.
25th.
Got it.
24th at 9 p.m. Play it.
That
Play
makes-
one. You got enough time now, everyone. Go play Psychonauts 1. It's on Game Pass, I think.
For
Probably.
free, right?
Well, it should be on Game Pass
Mm-hmm.
since Microsoft kind of
I
owns
think
them.
it is. Right?
It probably should be. If
Hmm.
not,
Probably is
if
free
not,
on Game
it's always
Pass.
on sale on Steam for like $2.
Yeah.
Go play it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Go play one of the best platformers. And that concludes the news.
You know what? Actually, there's one more thing.
Oh,
I forgot.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
surprised you didn't add it. Forza Motorsport 7, for some reason, they're taking it off the store. You're not gonna be able to buy it anymore.
why?
I don't know. I'm 8 maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's only been out for
Is it-
4 years.
Is it buggy?
No.
Oh, they just don't want to. Oh.
Yeah, it's super weird, and people that own the DLC for it will be able to
Okay.
get a token for it to be able to play it offline or whatever. It's just I don't know. It's super weird.
So if you own the game, can you still play the game?
If you own the physical copy, or I don't know. It's super weird. We do your own research on it because I don't know enough about it. But it's like starting in like September or something like that. Like it's gonna be taken off the store. You're just not gonna be able to buy it anymore.
But all the other Forzas are fine.
Yeah.
So it's just that one.
Yeah. You can't play it on Battle Pass, Game Pass anymore. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Super weird. Just be aware if
Just
you're
be aware
super
if you-
into
yeah.
Forza, check that out.
Check that out.
But yeah.
Other than that, news is done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the podcast.
That was what?
That was the podcast. What?
We're running short on time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we are short on
gotta,
time.
yeah, we got to wrap it.
We gotta wrap it.
Wow.
Any final words before we?
I've always accepted that I was a boomer gamer
Yeah, we're all boomer gamers here, literally.
at the Cedar
At
Square.
the Cedar Squared. You might not be, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You might be, and that's also okay. You might be a mega boomer and hate our opinions on games
Yeah.
because they're not dated enough. That's also okay.
Crazy thing is,
Unless you're thinking like, screw Halo. I'd rather play Marathon and Doom original.
Marathon,
Yeah.
that's a deep.
Then you might be
deep
wrong.
dive.
Hot take. You might be wrong.
You might be wrong.
But either way, thank you for listening. Let us know what you think about all that we talked about. Don't forget the sponsors. Wink, wink.
Yep.
Affiliate links below.
Yeah.
And I've been Zach.
I've been Shua.
I've been Steve.
Virtually.
Yeah. See
you later.